I'm Guy Taylor from Threat Status at the Washington Times. We're on the floor of IDEX in Abu Dhabi, and we're really lucky to be joined by Brandon Tzeng. He's a former U.S. Navy SEAL. He's a co-founder with his brother of Shield AI. We've identified Shield as really one of the more interesting advanced companies here at IDEX this year. Brandon, thank you so much. What do you guys have on display?
Thanks, Guy. Excited to chat with you today. On display, we have our vbat aircraft, which is a 120-pound vertical takeoff, launch and land aircraft. Launches and lands like a SpaceX rocket. It does the mission of $40 million drones at a fraction of the price. And it's a US program of record drone with US SOCOM. It's a US program of record drone with the US Coast Guard, and it's being adopted widely across the world. Taiwan just made a public announcement the other day they'll be buying VBATs. A Japanese program of record is buying VBATs. You know, one of the reasons why it's being widely adopted has been our success flying while GPS and communications were being jammed in Ukraine, in Russia, and we flew 100 kilometers, targeted Russian surface-to-air missile systems. GPS and communications jamming had no impact on our aircraft.
Let me unpack it for the audience that is not so familiar with exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about circumnavigating large areas without using GPS.
That is correct.
And you show it to us.
Yeah. So come with me. I'll show you the VBAT aircraft here. It's a really unique aircraft design in that it's a ducted fan tail sitting design, where you see most people try to achieve vertical takeoff, launch and land with hybrid quadcopter kits. That introduces increased complexity, increased variability, the requirement of electric motors. None of that is required on the VBAT when you talk about its hardware architecture. And so this is our newest generation of the VBAT. Has fully unassisted launch and land capabilities. Importantly, has a heavy fuel engine, which enables it to operate off of any maritime vessel in the world. That's the fuel that's used by navies worldwide, and it's used because ships are concerned with fire, and it has a very, very high flash point. We have SATCOM capabilities, and then perhaps most importantly, our HiveMind AI pilot on board the aircraft.
AI pilot.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about HiveMind and how also this drone breaks down and fits in the back of a pickup truck, essentially.
Yeah, so, well, two different questions there. Just really quickly on how it packs up and breaks down. You take off the wings, you take off the fuselage, and then it comes in two boxes, fits in the back of a pickup truck, fits in the back of a Black Hawk helicopter, can fit really any logistics footprint required. And this is important because, one, adversaries are monitoring what's going on runways. Runways are targeted. It's a move or die world out there where if you're not constantly on the move, you're going to get shot with artillery, you're going to get shot with rockets. This is true with the Ukrainians who are moving their equipment every hour on the hour. Same with the Russians. If you're not mobile in this day and age, you're very, very vulnerable.
So this has been deployed in Ukraine.
100% has been deployed in Ukraine by the Ukrainians. Again, flying long range, long endurance, strategic recce strike missions where they are going in and finding Russian targets and calling in long range fires and having wild success.
Right. And tell us about explain to me how can VBAT with HiveMind move without using GPS? Is it like celestial navigation?
So no, the way that it works, when I talk about AI pilots, when I talk about autonomy, it's a lot like a self-driving car, but for aviation. And so when a self-driving car, what it's doing, it's mapping out its world around it, and then it's using that map to reference itself in the world. So it's like if I drive a self-driving car in a tunnel system, there's no GPS. Now the car still knows what to do. That's because it's built an onboard map and it's referencing itself from that map.
Tell me a little bit about how this product is designed to address the changing landscape, and could VBAT with HiveMind integrate into wider drone swarming software, and could it solve the Pentagon's replicator problem?
Yeah, one, we're seeing on the broader global defense stage is a push towards more affordable systems. Instead of buying, $100 million F-35s and F-22s, people want to buy $15 million, $25 million CCAs, ACPs. These are the next generation of uncrewed jets. Similarly with the vbat, instead of buying $40 million strategic ISR and targeting platforms that are more vulnerable to surface-to-air missile systems, they want to buy something like the vbat, right? Which has been proven, has gone up against Russian surface-to-air missile systems in Ukraine. And so there's a major macro push from very expensive, very exquisite assets all the way down to more affordable, intelligent assets en masse. And then when we think, if you're going to have, right, Ukraine has talked about building an army of drones. They're building 1 million drones. China has talked about building 1 million loitering munitions and drones. And I expect, right, the United States has its replicator program. But key to that is you don't have enough personnel. You don't have enough pilots, right? And so what HiveMind does is it transforms the paradigm of 1-to-1, right? One pilot to one aircraft to 1 to N, where you now have one pilot to many aircraft. And so in that sense, it enables this concept of intelligent, affordable mass, enables the concept of swarming, and that's going to be fundamentally game-changing on the battlefield.
Brandon Tzeng from Shield AI, thank you so much for joining Threat Status. We wish you good luck.
Appreciate it.